Hey y'all, welcome back to Melvor Idle. So after our first day of idling, and it was pretty much a full day of just allowing it to do mining and picking up some things, as well as me being able to come down and do a little bit of guidance to it from time to time. Um, Nothing serious, just doing a couple of things to get us some skills going. Let's kind of review where we're at. So we got mining up to level 81 and tin up to level 80. And what that did was that netted us about roughly 11,000 copper and 12,000 tin. From that, we were able to make a couple thousand bronze bars and get that to level 81. That also allowed us to go through and make an entire set of bronze gear, which allowed us to get some combat experience. So we went and did a little bit of combat experience, got combat, got attack, strength, and defense up to level 6, because what we want to do is we want to be able to face the junior farmers and the adult farmers to get their drops. So in order to do that, we fought our way up. Since plants are level 1 and they just drop some potatoes, that didn't help. Chickens are level 2 and didn't mean to do that. Chickens are level 1 and they drop bones, feathers, and raw chicken. In order to get some more experience, we moved up to the cow when that became available. And the cow drops bones, leather, and raw beef. The reason we want to get to the farmer is the farmer actually drops seeds of various types, and the adult farmer drops even more seeds and compost. Master farmer, again, more seeds, and he also drops a mystical rake that we probably want to get at some point, so we'll need to be to level 47 before we get there. We're right now at combat level 8, so we should be able to start taking on the junior farmers probably in a couple of days pretty easily and get them going. We also mined up some iron, just enough iron to finally upgrade our gear to all iron gear. So that gave us a little bit more of a benefit. So let's look at our combat stats again. So right now we've got, and this is an odd thing that I noticed, is that each of your attack styles gives you a particular bonus in what you're looking at the time. So stabbing in combat would increase your chance to hit, and slash increases your maximum hit, and block increases your evasion. So the higher each of these skills are, defense raises your evasion, so it raises this to a higher level. So the more evasion you get, and if you have block selected, it gives it a bonus to raise it even higher. Slash, is it changing it? It is a little bit. So slash raises maximum damage. Let me come up here, and we got, like I said, we got this 666 so that we can do the farmer. Got some food equipped, so we're ready to go. So let's start some combat with some junior farmers. So we'll let that run. And we'll select each one of these so you can see it change. So the first thing we're going to do is change to block, which should raise our evasion from 1680 to 2352. So if you need to evade more, get hit less, that's when you change it to that. Slashing, you can see here we've got a 30 maximum damage, but if we select slashing, it goes up to 37. It's kind of a toss-up in my opinion. The more maximum damage you get, the better off you are, because you kill the monster quicker. The higher your evasion, the less you get hit. But if you're not doing enough damage, it's going to take forever. You have more opportunity to get hit. And stab raises your chance to hit. And as you can see, we went from 57% to 72%, which means we hit more often. Just kind of a trade-off. We can either hit more often or hit for more damage or evade more. Just kind of have to pick which scenario you want best. But overall, as you raise the skills, they actually do give you bonuses along the way as well. It's just not as high as if you're targeting it. Again, as you fight things, stuff gathers up in your loot to collect, and you got to make sure you collect it. This is what we're after, is the seeds. So if we go down here to farming, plant a seed, still don't have any seeds we can use. We're not high enough. Let's keep an eye on our combat so we don't die. Just get onion seeds. And we did increase the size of our bank a bit. Now we have 35 out of spaces available. So we got a little more room. All right, we did not raise ranged magic, prayer, or slayer at all. Didn't touch those. Didn't really have time. Again, farming's level 2. Do not have any seeds we can plant at the moment. Haven't quite gotten any good ones. Raised our wood cutting to 10, mostly just to open up the oak tree so that we can make bows and whatnot, which when we want to raise ranged, we're going to need a better bow so we can go there. I upgraded the axe that cuts trees to the steel axe, so that gives us a bonus of -10 wood cutting interval. So this duration went down slightly. And as you can see, we just took it to level 10. And that was about it. So fishing, did a little bit of fishing, need some shrimp so we could do some combat. And then cooked that shrimp to actually use it to fight. Again, cooking. Got 3 recipes: shrimp, beef, and sardines. And I currently have no sardines to cook, but I only raised that to level 6 just so we could get some food to fight with. More than anything, we're just trying to get those seeds. That's all we're trying to do. So let's go back and we got some potato seeds, which is really what we're looking for. So let's go to farming. Let's plant a seed. We have to have 3 in the bank to be able to plant them. So if we go up to bank, we only have 2 potato seeds. We need 1 more. So hopefully that comes through, because I would like to plant the potatoes. All right. Fire making didn't do anything. Cooking, again, just made it the basics. Mining. So we mined copper and tin. Got this to 81, got this to 80. Mined copper from the time I made the video last night, which was about a little bit before midnight. And let it run until morning, which is probably roughly 7 o'clock. And then switched to tin, and then ran tin from 6 o'clock up until probably about 10, just to get some exposure on it. And did a little bit of iron mining, probably about like 10 minutes worth. So taking these up for about 8 hours, took them to 80, gave us about 10,000 units. We're going to need a whole lot of this stuff to get all of these to 99. Even getting these to 99 is going to give us a bonus. We're already getting 10% or 5% mining mastery experience. So the more mining mastery experience is going up an extra additional percent. We upgraded the pickaxe to the mithril pickaxe, which gives us a 4% chance to double ores and a -20 mining interval. So each of these is 20% quicker. We're going to be upgrading this again sometime soon. I'll check on that when we go through the rest of it. So smithing, again, we just made a bunch of bronze bars, upgraded our gear to bronze, upgraded our gear to iron, and next we're going to start working on steel. So in order to make a steel bar, actually, let me go through them all. Bronze bar, copper, and tin. Pretty standard fantasy stuff there. Iron bar, just need iron ore, and I didn't get very much. As you can see, it only took it to 26. That was just enough to get everything to where I could make one of each. Steel bar, we need iron and coal. So we need more iron ore and coal ore. So running this iron ore all the way up and then switching to adding some coal ore into it later. We'll get the steel raised as well. And then next we'll get up into the next level of gear, which is mithril at a level 30. And we're at 27 right now. So we're almost there to start opening it up. But you got to be level 40 before you even start being able to get any of the gear out of it. So it's going to be a little while. That's mithril. Steel, we're already starting to get. By 42, we'll be out of it. So the rest of the stuff, thieving, did a little bit just to get some coins. And nothing serious. Fletching, didn't do anything because we're not doing anything with bows just yet. Crafting, we got some leather from the cows. So I just turned it into some leather gloves and then proceeded to just sell them because we didn't really have any use for them. The leather gloves give you a little bit less bonus, but they give you a defensive bonus. Some of this stuff, the leather stuff, works better for other classes than just your standard combat guy. So runecraft, herbalore, agility, summoning, didn't do anything. Astrology. So let's talk about astrology for a minute. So what astrology does is astrology gives you stardust when you study it. So you get golden and regular stardust. And as you increase these, the highest level one of course, gets you the most experience. So it's better to work on that one up till the point where you get one that you actually want. The official strategy guide says to get up to a Maria as soon as possible and get a Maria to 80. There's a reason for that. The official strategy guide prioritizes fishing over just about everything else. So that's not a terrible idea, but fishing is not exactly what we want to do. As you can see, each of these has a bonus that it adds in, and you can see a couple of them in here that are maybe useful. The first one is woodcutting skill experience and farming skill experience. And if we put some stardust into that, now we get a little bit extra bonus there. If we want a percent chance to get bird's nest when woodcutting, which also gives us seeds, we want to put a dot in there. Don't really have the golden stardust to raise it just yet. But each of these, as they get higher, increases more and more bonuses. Iridan gives you attack and whatnot bonuses to put in. And again, it's 10, 10, 10, 50, 50, 50. And we have 210 and 104. So we could do 2 of the bottom skills and 20 of the top skills, but these double every time you do it. So the next time, as you can see, if we want to raise woodcutting, it's now 20. The reason they tell you to do a Maria, you can see here, fishing and campfires are your bonuses there. So you got fishing skill, fishing mastery, fire making skill, firing mastery. This is the one that's really important. I think they're hinting at is getting special items when fishing and your interval and whatnot to reduce that a little bit. When you can do fishing, you can get all sorts of junk and other things that come back with your line, and it makes sense. Terra does mining and strength, so you get your strength rating, your accuracy rating, and eventually I'm sure you get some mining bonuses. I would like to focus on the Deedery just to get some of the wood cutting ones, because to me, wood cutting is pretty important too, even though we don't have anything really to do with wood cutting just yet. So I'm kind of holding off on that, but at least we've got it opened up. Veil, health, and what is that? Stamina, accuracy. Okay. So each of these gives you a different one. Archaeology, cartography. Just pick what you need a bonus for, or what you're going to be working on. So you can kind of increase this, get some stardust as you do it, and increase those bonuses. And you can see all your active modifiers here. So if we got one cutting farm, let's add one into fishing. Close that. And you can see now we also have fishing and fire making skill with a bonus. So anything you put a point into is active as a passive or an active modifier towards whatever you're doing. So that was one of the things we did today to kind of boost things up a bit. And I wanted to see what areas where the bonuses were. So I'd seen up to Ameria. That's as far as I'd gotten. But the official skill trees or skill guide tells you to get all the way up to Ameria, get Ameria all the way up to 80, finish it to 99 as soon as you can, get the bonus experience up so you're getting additional bonuses added in to get more stardust, and then start dropping points in Ameria so you can get your fishing up, and then you can go fish, and you can actually pick up different things in here that are more valuable than just fish. One of the other things we did was cartography. So let's go ahead and stop this combat because I don't want to die, and talk about archaeology a little bit. So archaeology gives you the option to find dig sites. Dig sites are things where you can see the point of interest here that's undiscovered, and you can see here we have a dig site that's uncovered. So this one, and this one I did just real quick to get an example. This is where we are. We could travel here if we want to check it out. We could travel here if we want to check it out. And there's a gold cost associated with it. This is level 1 of 24. So I did not take a chance to increase one of these ones that has a 2-level chance. So let's go ahead and do that. What you do is you click on it, and we need level 10, and we're only level 3, so we can't do that one yet. Let's do the one with the undiscovered point of interest. So let's let it run. And basically it just ticks up and kind of maximizes the cartography for the area. And see what we get. So this one has a dig site. The dig sites are in archaeology. So once you find a dig site, you can create a map from the dig site, go to archaeology, open the map, and pull some extra resources and whatnot. And the map is actually not huge, but not small. There's a good potential to do stuff. I'm not quite certain at this point what moving around does for you, so we'll need to figure that out. And once we get some of these opened up, we definitely will, but we need to make some progress through here. And we'll just let this run for a minute, and then I'll show you what happens when it's done. And one thing I do want to mention is, since we have an auto survey, as soon as it finishes this one, it's going to move to the next one and start surveying it for us. It wants us to know if we want to travel there. I don't want to travel there, so we're going to view it later. And now we're doing this one right here. And we don't really need to do that. So we'll go ahead and look at archaeology. Here's our dig site, requires level 1. We're locating the cartography. Set your dig sites, your museums are here. And I guess by getting things from the dig site, you can donate them to the museum, fill up your artifacts, and get additional rewards and bonuses for doing that. And that'll get you going. Like I said, I have a mod running on this that just allows me to smith bars. So let's do this real quick. Go in here and smith some, mine some iron. Actually, I don't have enough room in my inventory. Let's go to farming, see if we can plant any seeds yet. Yes, we can. Potato seeds. Plant them. All right, so they're going to take about 2 hours to finish. I'm not going to add any compost because, you know. All right, so let's go in here and let's get rid of some of these seeds so we got some room in our inventory. Eventually they'll come in handy, but we can kill more farmers and take their seeds. Okay, so now we got some room. As you can see, we got some leather. And let's go back to mining. Let's mine some iron, just a few bars or a few nodes. So then we've got some in our inventory. So I can show you what this mod, this semi-mod does. I think it's handy and it's not really cheating per se, but if you're going to farm up a bunch of different types of metal, it helps. Otherwise, you're going to have to sit there and say you get 100 iron, and iron is just something you need some of, but you don't want to overdo it. So you get 100 iron and 1,000 coal, and 1,000 silver and 1,000 gold and 1,000 mithril. You can start with the mithril, tell it to smelt it, and it will work through all your mithril. It'll move down to the next one, 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 and then it will continue to go down until it runs out of things to smelt, which in our case, there's a lot to smelt. So I don't think it's going to run out anytime soon. Just get like 4 more. It's 2, 3, and 4. All right, so stop that. So now let's go into our smithing. Let's look at our bars. So we got steel bars, which we actually have enough to make 1 of. And then we have some iron bars, which we have enough to make 26 of, but it's going to turn into 25 because steel uses 1 bar. And then bronze bars, we've got 9,200 of them we can make. So let's clear 1 more spot in our inventory. All right, and then we'll go down to smithing, steel bar, and you can watch it transition down to the iron bar and then down to the bronze bar. So we'll create. Oh, it requires 2 coal. Let me go get 1 more coal then. Okay. That was a goof on my part. All right, smithing. So now we got exactly what it's asking for, iron and coal. So again, watch what happens. So we smith 1 steel bar, done. Move down to the iron bar, move through those. So the mod manager is a decent thing to have loaded, as long as you're cognizant that people can do malicious things through the mods if you're not careful. But this one's relatively harmless. and doesn't really affect gameplay that much. I can imagine if I was trying to master something in bronze, but I was trying to work actively to raise something higher, I would want to make sure I got those bars sorted as well as any bronze stuff that I got needed to make. And probably wouldn't want to stay awake for it because I'm not going to want to stay awake to smelt 10,000 bars of bronze. Just so happens that's last, so really can't do much with it. And then move down to bronze bar. And it would continue to do these until it runs out, and then it would stop. So with this being an idle game, you're really not missing out on much, and you're not creating much of a problem by allowing it to just work through stuff on its own. And we'll let that run in the background. But we talk about goals for tomorrow. So goals for tomorrow, when I make the next video, I'd like to get these a bit higher so that we can take out more of those farmers a little bit more quickly because they do take a bit of time to die. Our hit points need to be slightly higher because it is causing us to go really low, really fast. Really isn't much of a penalty for dying, but I don't like penalties, so I don't really want to fuss with it. We need to make a little bit of money so we can upgrade some things, and I'll cover that on the last point before I leave. Not going to touch any of these. The farming, of course, what we've got going should be it. So that should be ready tomorrow, and any other ones we can get. Not going to raise woodcutting yet, but that's going to be probably next. I will probably work on some fishing just to get some ability to get higher level fish. Cooking is going to naturally come up with stuff, so I'm not going to actively work on cooking yet. Mining is probably where we're going to focus because mining gets me equipment that I can use for combat, and that's useful. Thieving, I'm probably not going to do anything with. Fletching, again, probably not going to do anything with it. We will work on ranged once we get things more settled and we start working on our wood cutting. Crafting, probably just going to use up the materials we get. We will probably do some more work in astrology in order to get some more of the bonuses, especially in the areas we want to work on and things we're going to be working on in the future, like fishing and wood cutting, because those are the two that we're going to work on next. And probably not going to do anything with cartography. Maybe finish up one or more. Maybe we'll do one of these a day. So we can go through and do one of these little blocks every day to make some progress. Excuse me. Well, let's look at the shop. So I would like to get another 5 bank slots because these do fill up pretty fast. We're not in range to get another bank tab, so that's kind of out of the question. Again, the auto eat is $1 million. We're not going to be getting that. Equipment swapping, we don't need that. Some of these are nice. The multi-tree to cut 2 different trees and wood cutting logs. Doesn't look like you can gain more experience, but you can cut two logs. That's useful. The rest of these are just nice. This is what we have right now: the black axe, the steel fishing rod, and the adamant pickaxe. And we'll go into skill upgrades. This is where some of the big bonuses come in. The only one we technically could upgrade right now is the pickaxe, and that takes 200,000, and we have 18,000, so we're not in range to do it, even though we have the ability. When we start selling off maybe some of the things we make, we'll be able to do that. The rest of the stuff is probably going to come later as we go. Cooking fires and furnaces and whatnot to increase those. Cartography. As you can see, there's a bonus for just about everything because there's a piece of gear for just about everything. We will probably get these as we go. but none of them are much of a priority except these top ones right now. And then it moves into the second line in order to get better cooking. The rest of it, not really things we're actively working on right now, even passively working on them. They're just happening as we get a chance. These give you additional things to do with slayers. These are charged gloves. That gives you bonuses. Your skill capes. As you max things out, you have the ability to buy these skill capes. Once you max out defense, you can get a cape that gives you an additional 80 to all defense bonuses. Astrology cape gives you 1 additional stardust and golden stardust. Just different things. Once you get everything to 99, you can get this, which inherits all skill cape perks. That's hard to say. But you can get all of the bonuses of all of the skill capes with this one once you get everything to 99. So you have to get everything to 99, and then you can get this one, and that gives you the benefit of everything. I'm not sure if it's a prerequisite to own all of the previous skill capes, but by that point, it probably won't be a big deal. Again, getting all these. Once it gets to 99, mining is probably going to be the first one, mining and wood cutting. And fishing, because this would be useful to get 2 additional items, or times 2 items received from fishing. Or we could get this one, which gives us, it's fletching. I can't read today. But yeah, mining gives us 1 coal ore per hour mined, so we always get 1 coal with everything else. Kind of ties everything in, and the wood cutting decreases the interval. So we have different valid benefits to get. We just need to get them. Apparently coal costs come into play for smithing, so I guess that's why that one's good to have. And you just change the capes based on what you're doing until you get to this one, and then you can just wear that one. The superior skill capes increase things even more, but you have to have everything to 120. So instead of 99s, you got to get 120s. So once we get everything to 120, you have the ability to get these capes. The Atlas of Discovery, which is all of that, adds in these bonuses. And these two, the superior skill capes, the Atlas of Discovery, are from the expansion. 2 expansions, Throne of the Herald, Atlas of Discovery, which you should also buy. So at the 24-hour point, I found it does log you out. So we will get logged out at 24 hours and have to sign back in, which isn't a bad deal, but it keeps you from going over and just continuing to do this for weeks and then coming back. And now it's done, just basically cleaned up a cloud save, so it makes sure we didn't lose anything. But we are still smithing, so that's a good thing. Where were we? Shop. You can buy materials and items, but honestly, I'd rather try to find them than buy them. Because when you start buying things, whether you can find like leather, I mean, you can fight some cows and get a bunch of leather, or you can spend a bunch of gold, 100 gold each to get leather. I'd rather just find it than waste the money. You can also change the amounts you're buying of stuff up here, which is something that eluded me at first. You can change it to 1, or you can change it to 1,000. I could kind of see where this would be useful if you want to make a bunch of leather stuff and you have more money than you know what to do with. Buy a couple thousand leather, knock yourself out. And Township. Township does various things that I haven't had a chance to explore yet. So we'll have to worry about this at some point in the future. That's down the ways a bit. Again, bank. So our bank is almost full again. One of the things that gets me is these gemstones that come in. I'm not sure if they're valuable or not. later, but they come in pretty easily, so I'm just selling them right now because I just want the inventory space. So we need money more than we need that. Let's free up, let's sell our bronze stuff just so we can get the inventory space back. There's really nothing we need bronze because pretty much we can upgrade everything. So let's get rid of our bronze battle axe. And our bronze scimitar. I like to try to make at least one of everything that we have, so we don't need any throwing knives. We'll get rid of those. I'm going to keep the arrow tips because we may need to make some arrows. We've already got 15 of them, so that puts us one step ahead because I don't know that we can use anything higher. And the only other thing to note that happened was we did get these mastery tokens for mining, which grant a mastery pool experience bonus of 0.1% to the maximum mastery pool experience for the regenerative skill, for the respective skills. So mining, go to mining. Here's our mastery experience. We would get 0.01 or 0.1% of this. We're getting a bonus of plus 5%. We need 1.7 million more experience to get to the reduced timer. I can kind of wait for that to get higher, and maybe we'll get a bigger bonus when we cash them in. So I'm hanging on to those for now. My other playthrough, I cashed them in early. I didn't feel like I was getting much from them. So maybe as we progress, they'll be worth more. If we start getting a bunch of them, we can certainly cash them in, but it don't seem to happen very often. And our mining skill is already at 53. Just need to get it to 120. I guess we need to get these to 120 instead of 99 as well. So I will probably run copper again overnight and then tin, switch to tin in the morning so that we can get these rounded out because finishing these would be a big bonus. Eventually we're going to have to drop down to doing rune essence again, get all those up to 120. The experience level on these is so low. It's almost not worth doing it until later or we need it. We don't need it yet. Iron does better than both of these. So maybe I'll actually just do iron because I can do iron by itself, but I can do iron and coal and make steel. So I don't know, but iron gives a little bit more experience and coal gives even more still. Silver obviously gives more, but we can't do anything with silver, so there's not much point in getting it because we can't smith it into anything. So it's not useful and it doesn't help us, and we're just going to end up with a full inventory and nothing to do with it. So it's either going to be copper ore and tin ore, or it's going to be iron ore and coal ore. Which actually steel seems to give the most experience. So I'm thinking technically we could finish bronze bars. So, get that to 120. We've got quite a bit to go. But we also need to get all of these to 120. So we got to make a whole bunch of bronze daggers, a whole bunch of bronze arrow tips, a whole bunch of throwing knives, and all these other things. Get them all to 120. So this is kind of going to be a haul. But for now, equipping ourselves would be the most useful, and getting into steel is going to be our next step because we've already got all the iron gear. So if we're working to equip ourselves, we're probably going to want to do this. And the steel requires level 5. So what about the rest of these? Are these all level 5? Yeah. So we should be in steel now. So maybe we'll work on that. So we got steel bar. We only have one steel bar right now. So yeah, let's mine steel in order to make steel. so that you're clear, we need iron and coal. So let's mine coal overnight, iron through the day. And that should get us a good amount of experience. And with coal giving more upfront experience, we'll raise our mining level quicker. So when we switch, the reduced experience from mining iron, this may be high enough that we've made more progress and we actually get more bonus. So we may get reduced ore respawn times, which would help us do the iron, even though it's giving us less in the long run. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to start with coal. We'll start raising that up. Apparently coal is pretty important, so doing it overnight would be a good benefit. All right, so there's our plan for tonight. We're going to make coal overnight, iron, switch to iron in the morning, let that run until we're ready to make the video. For tomorrow, we're going to smith all that down, and then we should be able to start making some steel gear, which we should be able to get into. Anything higher than that exceeds, it's probably going to exceed what we can get into, but the higher the gear, the better the bonus. So that'll give us even more opportunity to fight things when we get around to doing that. We just need to do some probably catching up for our next level of gear to be able to equip it. So that's it for today. Just wanted to catch up on what we did over the whole day of idling. And tomorrow we will see where we end up and see what kind of trouble we get into. Once we get some of these non-combat skills built up, we'll be able to move into some of the combat skills and some of the more active stuff. But some of this stuff we still don't even see. So we need to get those opened up. And the only way we get those opened up is by idling and getting them going. And that's why it's an idle game. There's no rush. There's no hurry. We just let it do things when it can. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. We can get that all straightened out and should be all good to go. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.